Welcome to the Girlfriend's Guide to Senior Living. I'm Gail Peacock.
And I'm Lori Williams.
And we are so happy you could join us. We're passionate about helping families navigate the senior living maze. Each episode, we will share with you our knowledge of senior living and help you to eliminate the uncertainties you face in the search for senior resources. Hey girlfriends, we hope you tuned into episode 1 about Alzheimer's and Dementia 101, the basics. We gave you basic definition of Alzheimer's and dementia, and we talked about how it's diagnosed. In this episode, we will cover treatments available and how tips and how to cope and different behaviors and personalities, and how to keep a healthy brain.
So the question is, how is Alzheimer's treated? And unfortunately, this is a very short section because there aren't a lot of treatments out there. Scientists are working on things, but there's just really not a whole lot. So what we have for you, there's no cure at this time. No cure at all exists. So we just try to manage behaviors. Mm-hmm. And we do that through some medications, and some of the ones you may have heard of, they're Aricept, Namenda, they're cognitive enhancing meds. So they help with some people, but not with everyone. And it doesn't reverse the disease. It just kind of stops it from progressing as quickly. And then the other way is just through behavior type modifications and kind of, as we say, join their journey.
Yes, definitely. Other medications that can help with behaviors, mood swings, and for their anxiety and their depression. Mm-hmm. So there's also medications that can help with that. Mm-hmm. The way we interact with our family members, or as family members and caregivers, make a huge impact really on our loved ones with Alzheimer's. Mm-hmm.
So, we need to keep in mind that Alzheimer's disease, what it does, it causes brain cells to die. So the brain is just going to work less well over time. And this changes how the person acts. So they're not, they want to be the same, they just can't help it because of the changes in their brain. So we can't stop these Alzheimer's related changes in their personality and their behavior, but there's ways that we can cope with it.
And so we're going to go into some tips from the National Institute of Aging on Aging, of some tips that we can do to interact with our loved one with Alzheimer's and make it easier on them as well as us. So one of them is keeping it simple. So ask only one question at a time, mm-hmm. Say only one thing at a time, which personally I think sounds very hard. Mm-hmm. I'm the queen of asking 5 things at once and then just kind of look at you like, why aren't you moving? Yeah. And why didn't you do all 5 of those?
That is hard, and you need to speak slowly and clearly, and it's
hard to do, especially when you're
busy
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You're in the rush of your normal day, and it's hard to kind of slow down and remember that you're speaking to somebody who mm-hmm. isn't all really paying attention to all the different things you're saying. Mm-hmm. Having a daily routine is helpful. Just like all of us, when you know what to expect during the day, we all just manage the day better. I know a lot of the communities have calendars, and the reason why they have the calendars is so that everybody knows what's expected in that day. And the calendars do flow so that all the residents know what happens on a daily basis. Every Wednesday we have this, or after mm-hmm. breakfast we have entertainment, Bible studies right after lunch, or whatever those things are. So the calendar is very helpful. Mm-hmm. So having your own little personal calendar to let the person know what's expected that day, I think will make everyone's life easier.
I completely agree. So also reassuring the person that they're safe, because they feel they feel unsafe. They're anxious. So mm-hmm. you want to be calm and reassuring, and reassure them that they're safe. So not using an angry tone of voice. You just want to, again, just calm, level tone of voice. We also want to focus on their feelings rather than words.
I love this.
So instead of saying, what's wrong? What's the matter? What are you doing? You want to say, you seem worried. What's happening? What's going on? So it's just all in the way, your tone of voice, just very gentle, reassuring, and just asking them instead of sounding sort of like that's kind of accusatory, like what's wrong,
Yes, definitely. Yeah. And that voice doesn't sound like you're willing to help me if you're asking me those kind of questions.
It's making them shut down.
Exactly. So we know these are all hard things, so let's just own that. Do not argue or try to reason with the person. And as Lori said, we need to join them on their journey. That is the key out of this whole episode. If you get anything out of it, is that you need to join them on the journey they're on, because you will never win that fight.
Because they can't be on your journey.
No, and you can't reason with them. You can't really bring them to what your reality is. You need to join them in what their reality. And so, just a real quick story. But there was one of my favorite residents, which we're not supposed to have favorites. And she had a bear. And so she would bring this teddy bear with her everywhere on her walker, and she would talk to it, and it was a person. It was her baby. And so we would find ourselves interacting with this bear like it was a person, and we would wait for it to respond. And, then you're kind of like, yoo-hoo, we'd be a little bit crazy. But she would talk through the bear and say, like, I would ask her, why'd you leave early from the music today? I thought you loved music. And she would say, oh, the bear, it was too loud and he didn't like the music, so we left. And it was really, she was feeling those ways. That was her feeling, but she was using the bear to be able to communicate. And so, again, we jump into their journey. Because if you said, why are you talking to a bear? It's not going to, what are you going to do? Argue with somebody?
That would make her feel bad,
Yes.
So, she's talking through the bear and she's telling you how she feels.
Exactly. So work with it.
I love that story. I think that's great. The other one was try not to show your frustration or anger. And if you have kids, I'm sure you've practiced these techniques before, which is take deep breaths, maybe leave the room. I like to call it or I used to when mine were little, a mommy timeout. So if you can walk out of the room for a few minutes, if they're safe and, in a safe environment, walk out, take some deep breaths, going to get yourself under control and calm down before you go back in, because you don't want to be so frustrated and worked up that you're going to talk to them, maybe yell at them or attack. And then they're going to feel worse and it's just going to spiral.
Yes, and then they're going to shut down, like you said earlier. I think that's a really good point. And then trying to get them back to feel safe and comfortable again, it's going to take a lot longer to do that. So always finding humor.
Oh, always find humor. Yeah,
even
humor's
just period.
Laughter's the best medicine.
Exactly,
right?
We love that.
Yes.
So we have people, again, like we talked about in the first episode here, was about pacing. So people that pace, that is their symptom. That's what they do. And so we need to make sure they have comfortable shoes. They're not getting blisters or whatever. Their shoes are riding their feet bad. They always have water, so they stay hydrated. Give them a snack. So at our community, we call it the walking club. So within our team, we all knew who those pacers were. And so we called it a walking club. So we'd be like, hey, how's the walking club doing today? Or how much has the walking club ate? Because it's a very respectful way to talk about. You don't want to be like, what's going on with the pacers?
Yeah, I love that. I think walking club, that's very respectful and sounds
it
fun.
Is kind of.
It is. They are a walking club. Yeah,
they sure are.
Absolutely.
Also, which we loved, is using music, which I love music. Using music, dancing, singing, to help redirect people. So we all love music, and it brings us back to that actual time, and it all
taps into those emotions.
Yes, and it brings us back to that exact moment, as you hear all the time. The Christmas songs that we're hearing now brings us back to that exact Christmas when we first heard that song or whatever.
Well, on the drive here, a song came on from the 80s, big hair band.
Yes, and we're all jamming out, and you remember all the words, you remember everything about it.
And we're remembering what's funny, like what was happening at that time in our lives. So that's just what music does. It just kind of takes you back, and it's one of the last things that you lose with dementia, which is very interesting. Music therapy is like a huge thing now.
Yes, definitely.
A lot of information on that.
Love it.
Also, get them involved. So for instance, say, let's set the table together. Just small tasks like that, they can still do, and it makes them feel important still. So help fold the laundry. And my grandmother had dementia, and she loved to fold the laundry, and she did a beautiful job at it. So just in a community we're talking about, you would have them roll the silverware to set the table. So let them be active. And in other episodes we've talked about how important that is to have a purpose. So even if you have dementia, you still need purpose.
Right, we all do. And they were expected to be like, it's lunchtime, it's time to roll this, or do, they know what's expected. Again, they know what the schedule is for the day, and they know what they need to be doing. So it's awesome.
So we're going to talk a little bit about keeping a healthy brain. Doctors and scientists don't really know, at this point, how to prevent Alzheimer's. And these are some tips that we're not going to say it's going to prevent it, but you know what? It may help. So these are some things that we came up with.
So obviously, it's always this physical exercise business. It helps with just your health in general, improves your mood, which is all true. Having a balanced diet and making sure we get enough sleep, which God bless the sleep.
Yeah, that's a hard one, isn't it?
I love sleep. I love sleep.
I love sleep too, but I never get enough. Also, and we've hit on this on other episodes if you've got them, but volunteering, that's huge. And again, it's about staying active, keeping your mind active, having purpose.
Yes, purpose. I love it.
Being involved with your, spending time with family and friends, being involved in activities, to keep learning new activities, taking a class, a computer class, a Tai Chi class, anything like that. And we've talked about this many times and ways that you can do that.
And some tools that I think we definitely use, but like a calendar to make sure that you, again, know what your schedule is, a to-do list, talking about sticky notes, which I'm the queen of sticky notes. I love it. And I tell my kids all the time, if you don't write it down for me, it will not happen. So they constantly are writing down little notes for me. Put things in the same place so that you remember that this is where your purse goes, this is where your keys go, you don't lose your shoes. And as I was just having a laugh to myself, because why do women always find things, but men can never find them? It's just one of our hidden talents.
Or my kids. I mean, my daughter can be like, I've looked everywhere. I'm like, it's right here.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know.
I just walk right up to it. Here it is. Let's not forget to take care of you. It's important. We have said before that there's support groups that you can join. Your friend circle, definitely. And don't go at this alone, because it's a long journey.
Absolutely. So, to recap, we want to take the fear out of this, and it is a scary diagnosis to have a dementia diagnosis for yourself or for a loved one. So really all we can do is take control of the situation. So take control of what you can do and your attitude. That's key for anything, really. You can control your attitude all the time. So how you relate to your family member with dementia, processes that you put in place, like we said, having daily activity, like a chart, what you're going to do each day, a routine, and then talking to your doctor. If you see that they're having behavior issues, let's talk to the doctor and see if there's some meds that might help out.
That is good. So be sure to follow us on Facebook, as we talk about all the time on our page. Visit our YouTube channel and subscribe. And per my daughter, she said, you press the bell and you can turn on your post notifications. So press the bell, my friends.
Press the bell.
We are Girlfriends on the Road, and check us out where we're going to be turning up. You never know. And we love your feedback as always. Please keep, filling us with the comments. We read all of them. We discuss them, and we talk about how we can change and enhance the show for the better. And don't forget to share us with your friends.
Exactly. And we're going to post some of these tips that we talked about on our Facebook page so you can see them there. And just remember, we're here for you. We hope you found some value. And any comments, please get back to us. We're happy to answer any questions you may have. Take care. Thank you for tuning in today. We hope you enjoyed this episode. As your girlfriends, we'd love to hear from you. Each episode will feature new questions. Don't keep it a secret. Share us with your friends. We're on Facebook, YouTube, podcast platforms, and even in your Alexa. See you.